Welcome. I am Collins Trott, Child Development Faculty on the Wallace Community College Dothan campus. In this episode, we are going to be learning about foundations of successful partnerships. When administrators and teachers in schools have decided that reaching out to include families is an important part of their mission, they have taken a first step towards creating partnerships. Having made that decision, they can then design the policies and practices to work with families. Every program, responsive to what it knows about its particular population of families, will necessarily create methods of working with families that are unique. Thus, many programs may look quite unlike each other in their approaches and still work well in their own situations. Therefore, it would be impractical and not very helpful for us to set down one specific plan of action for working with families. However, certain common elements can be found in any program that has some success in reaching families. Some of these include attitudes of the staff involved. Others include the external factors in the school that support teachers' efforts. By exploring these common elements, we will be able to determine the essential ingredients of successful partnerships. In this episode, we will explore some of the attitudes, behaviors, and other factors that facilitate the formation of productive partnerships between families and teachers. So join me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about foundations of successful partnerships. Research regularly points to the critical role of teacher practices and attitudes in encouraging and motivating parents' engagement in the educational process. Because a teacher acts as initiator in forming the partnership, the starting place lies in the examination of some essential teacher ideas and attitudes. Teachers trying to move into a partnership with parents must work towards the idea and attitudes of concepts of professionalism, sense of self, humility, compassion, respect for others, and trustworthiness. Basic to the formation of a parent-teacher partnership is a teacher's concept of professionalism and the professional teaching role. With a traditional definition of the professional, teachers see their relationships with families as a one-way process of informing parents and attempting to influence them. In such a relationships, families are passive clients and implies that there's a deficit that the professional is trying to rectify. Teachers who can accept the partnership concept consider parents to be active members in making and implementing decisions regarding their children and capable of making major contributions. A partnership can develop only when teachers create a different mental concept of their role. When early childhood programs value relationship-based care, they understand professionalism in a new way, following a model that fosters caring connections between adults. A partnership can be both exciting and anxiety-producing because teachers who function as partners with parents are frequently in a position where so much is untried and without guidelines. But as partners, teachers trust that parents are capable of growth, and in demonstrating this belief, they grow themselves. Teachers who are most able to move into collaborative partnerships with families have a strong sense of self. Teachers learn to be in touch with and can effectively communicate their feelings. They are aware of their own strengths, weaknesses, concerns, and values, sure of their positions that they are not easily manipulated or threatened, nor do they try to manipulate others through fear. Because they respect themselves, they treat others with equal dignity, relate as one individual to another, and avoid stereotyping. Another attitude of teachers related to the concept of partnership and to the new definition of professionalism is humility, the ability to wait, be silent, and listen. Teachers who do not make impossible demands on themselves do not expect to immediately understand each question or to have an instant response. Teachers who can work in a partnership display compassion for themselves and for others. As they attempt to understand parents, they then try to realize not just what they are thinking, but also what they may be feeling. Such sensitivity is a first step towards the development of genuine mutual respect. Teachers who move into partnerships with families express a genuine respect for parents, for their position as the most important people in their children's lives, and for their accomplishments in child rearing. They respect the experiences, knowledge, and expertise that each participant brings to the situation. In so doing, they validate parents and themselves, finding areas of strength rather than areas of weakness. They also respect the rights of individual parents to define their own needs for the education and care of their children. Teachers consider the concept of being trustworthy for families so parents can build a sense of confidence in the choices they have made for their children's education and in those who are caring for their children. Building trust takes time and effort and is at the heart of comfortable, open communication. It is vital that teachers realize their behaviors can assist in this endeavor or detract from families' abilities to trust. In addition to teacher ideas and attitudes, there are many external factors for successful partnerships. A partnership between home and school has 4 elements: creating two-way communications, enhancing learning at home and school, providing mutual support, and making joint decisions. All of these can be supported by several other concrete external factors through administrative support systems, communication time, variety in family involvement, information, family-friendly environments, and communication skills. Support systems are necessary for teachers striving to work with parents. Administrative support and leadership set the tone and atmosphere for involving families in a school. Support for family involvement needs to permeate the school from top down. Without wholehearted administrative belief in the importance of working with families, parents will not understand that their participation is a necessary part of the whole effort. When administrators support family involvement with funding, staff training, and philosophy, partnerships are more successful. One of the most crucial components in the foundation of a parent-teacher partnership is time. Time for teachers and parents to communicate freely together. Communication time with families may be made available by a flexibility in teachers' time options that fit parents' schedules. Because of the frequency of casual communication has a direct bearing on the quality of a teacher-parent relationship, it is worthwhile to set up patterns in staffing arrangements and classroom planning and a variety of opportunities that allow teachers with the freedom to talk with parents. Another factor facilitating parent-teacher partnerships is to offer a variety of forms of family involvement and communication. Generally, family involvement increases as communication from the classroom is continual and varied. Offering a variety of ways of being involved in a school allows families to participate at a level that meets their current needs. For a constructive family-teacher partnership, clear understanding and knowledge of what is expected or possible in any school are required. Parents who clearly understand their responsibilities and obligations are more comfortable. Such routine encounters as conferences or home visits will not germinate apprehension if parents are familiar with the procedures and the roles in them. School staff should take the time to look around the building with the perspective of a rushed parent or a tired grandmother. Does the environment suggest that families are part of the school and should linger for conversation? Or does it suggest a coldly efficient institution where families are not meant to stay? When pictures and words are posted about children, their families, and the teachers who work in the school, the implicit message is one of welcome and the importance of all participants. When children's classrooms have areas with couches or stuffed chairs, plants, and soft lighting, tired parents may linger for a conversation and opportunities to watch the goings-on of a classroom. Teachers attempting to create constructive partnerships with families need to develop their communication skills. Many teachers are fortunate to have opportunities to speak with the parents frequently. However, frequency of communication does not guarantee increased understanding or improved relationships. Clarity may be lacking and vocabulary may be different. Unless teachers are aware of different styles and purposes of communication, of how to communicate verbally and nonverbally, to listen and convey attentive caring, and to interpret messages from parents, miscommunication can create real barriers to a partnership. Using varieties of methods for parent involvement increases family participation. Among the theoretical influence on the director working to implement the philosophy of family involvement in the center is the model of school, family, community partnerships, drawn from the work of Joyce Epstein. Although use of the Epstein model has been primarily directed towards school settings for older children, it is instructive to realize that the 6 kinds of involvement are what help make the Family Resource Center an example of productive efforts to create partnerships. The type of involvement includes parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and collaborating with the community. In the Epstein model, the first type of involvement is directed to supporting families with their parenting and child-rearing skills. Here, schools help families with parenting and child-rearing skills, child development knowledge, and creating home conditions that support children at each grade level. Reciprocally, schools have to learn to understand families. The second type of involvement is the Epstein's model of communication. The school involves parents by communicating about school programs and student progress through effective two-way communication channels that may include memos, notices, conferences, newsletters, phone calls, and electronic messages. Epstein's third type of family involvement is volunteering. Schools work to improve recruiting, training, and schedules to involve families and community members as volunteers, as audiences to support students and school programs. Epstein describes the fourth type of family involvement as learning at home, where families work with their children on learning activities. Schools involve families with their children in learning activities at home and in the community, including homework and other curriculum-related activities. The fifth type of family involvement from Epstein is decision-making. Schools include families as participants in school decisions and governance through the PTA, advisory councils, committees, and other leadership opportunities. Finally, the sixth type of family involvement from the Epstein model is the collaboration with the community. Schools coordinate services and resources for families, and the school with businesses, agencies, and other groups. Schools also provide services to the community. Now let's review what we've learned. As we have seen, family-teacher relationships are complex things uniting two sets of internal experiences, needs, and responses with two sets of external circumstances. Teachers who expect total success will be disappointed if they measure complete success as full participation by every parent. Parents have unique responses to family involvement opportunities. Some families are reached in one way and others in another way. And some may be reached at another time after one teacher's efforts have long seemed to bear no results. So the measure of success lies not in the number responding to any initiative, but the quality of interaction. Not in total agreement, but in the continued dialogue. Such extended contact allows the growth of comfort and communication, as well as the acceptance of ideas. The teacher realizing this is less likely to become frustrated and abandon all attempts. Specific attitudes are basic to forming a collaborative relationship with families and include new image of professional roles as partners, strong sense of self, humility, compassion, and respect for others. Concrete steps can be taken and skills can be developed to help lay foundations for parent-teacher partnerships. Administrative support to provide collaborative philosophy and tangible assistance with staffing arrangements and time provisions, as well as emotional support system for teachers. Time created by allowing teachers to interact with parents at crucial points in the workday and compensating them for offering flexible options for parent involvement beyond normal working hours. Also, a variety of forms of family involvement, allowing parents to select where, when, and how to participate. We also need clear explanations of policies, expectations, and openness to welcome families into the educational program. We also need family-friendly environments and developing and practicing effective communication skills. The components of Epstein's theory can be found in a successful family involvement program. These include support in parenting, communication, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and collaboration within the community. That wraps us up for this episode. You can learn more about this topic by reviewing the resources posted in your course. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me or your instructor. Thanks for joining me, Ms. Trott, as we learn all about the foundations of successful partnerships. See you next time.